Hey folks, my name is Michael Raso. I'm here with Matt Marrash.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Today we're talking about 16 millimeter black and white X-ray film available at the filmphotographystore.com. Let's get right to it. I did have to hold a neutral density filter over my lens
Mhm.
because I shot this at 200 ISO, which is kind of high ISO for these old wind-up cameras.
Yeah, what was the highest speed film that those Keystones were rated for? Is it like 40 or 50?
50s tops. I
So you
mean,
definitely want like a 2 to 3 stop ND at the minimum.
absolutely. Now, the keystones, and I always suggest 16 frames per second. That's
Mm.
native to that camera. There's really no real reason to shoot 24. It's not a sync sound camera. And by shooting 24 frames per second, you're just burning more of your dollars. You have 1/30th of a second shutter speed. This is a high contrast situation the day you shoot, and this day
Mm.
was just really bright and sunny. 10, 15 minutes later, I was in a different area. This is in
Mhm.
Baltimore, by the way.
This definitely feels like Ortho now. Like the skies have that kind of brighter feel.
Yeah.
Those highlights are really, really bright, and then the shadows just kind of like it goes really dark in those greens. That's kind of interesting.
Now, there's just some fogging that just went on, and that's
Hmm.
not a film fault. That's like a camera fault. I always suggest taping up the door, the
Hmm.
film door on your camera. There's a lot of fogging, light leaking going on here.
Hey, it's John.
Yeah, this is shockingly indoors with a tungsten light setup.
This looks good.
This looks so much better, Matt, than I thought it
Yeah.
would. I didn't think an image would show up at all because it's orthochromatic film, which
Hmm.
you need blue light for. And this is tungsten light. I guess different films, Matt, have different levels of orthochromatic sensitivity.
Yeah, this is kind of like back when I was working with the X-ray sheet films. There's stuff that's strictly blue sensitive, but this must have a lot of green sensitivity for an ortho film because usually you only get that in the higher speed green sensitive ones. So that's must be what this is. Like you can still see, more like definition in like your skin tones at your 200 and 400 ISO. So I'm guessing that's just what it is, but that opens up some possibilities for the X-ray film in indoor photography, which is pretty cool.
For this reel, I like the indoor shots so much better than the outdoor shots.
Same. Yeah, a lot of good contrast.
And that's because, I mean, when you're shooting indoors, I mean, you're controlling your environment. You're
Hmm.
setting up your lights. So I'm going to shoot another roll indoors. I'm in love with the indoor shots, not the ones where I messed up the f-stop setting.
I like what it's doing to the fluorescence in there too. They have like that glow. You could definitely do like, I don't know, some sort of like office comedy or just a fun little short and
Yeah.
really play on the fact that those highlights glow the way they do.
Orthochromatic film, blue sensitive film, and green
Hmm.
sensitive film.
Yeah.
And I know that Fuji for the longest time made those 8x10 sheets. You can get blue, you can get green.
Yes. Hmm.
So are you saying that this FPP X-ray 16 millimeter and 8 millimeter is green sensitive?
This looks like I would call like they would call it like a full speed green is what this looks like to me. So that means that you're getting more effective speed ISO, so that tracks because this is a 200 to 400 speed, and that pretty much the only thing it's not going to see is like really dark, like your dark reds.
Right.
So that's why you can get definition in the sky. If this was just a blue sensitive film, you wouldn't see any sky, no matter how much ND that you put on that camera. Your sky would just be like that super super bright white, no matter what kind of conditions. So that's a really good thing. That means that you can get kind of creative with filtration if you want. So not just NDs. Somebody could put a yellow filter on there if they wanted to pop contrast on maybe like a cloudier type day. But it also opens up the possibilities of using off-camera lighting like LEDs or like tungsten that you're using to make for a nicer looking shot. But since this is an ortho film, I'm always going to recommend using like more even lighting because the native contrast of that film is going to still look really, really punchy versus like a fresh panchromatic negative
Right.
stock.
What are the tips for this particular film? Well, 200 to 400.
Mm-hmm.
It's orthochromatic, green sensitive, which we just discovered.
Yep.
ND filters, have them in your bag
Have
outside.
some ND filters.
You're going to need them.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing a project with this, I know it costs, but I highly suggest doing a test in
Get
the
a test.
lighting,
Got it.
in the lighting that you plan on shooting with. Um, Other than that, we're interested in your comments. You could leave them down below or podcast@filmphotographyproject.com. Seeing this reel, does that motivate you for you to shoot your role?
I feel a lot better about this now. Now I'm confident, and I have some LED lighting that I can use with this. So I'm gonna try some now.
Hey, if you like these segments, FPP movie film role reviews, let us know and we'll whip up some more.